Hare Krishna. Welcome to my Radha Mother channel. This is Sindhu here. Welcome back for the beautiful Krishna Katha time, story time. Right, today's topic is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the illiterate Brahmana story. Right, the illiterate Brahmana reading Bhagavad Gita. We are going to see that story. Let me start with a small prayer. Nama Om Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. I humbly request my dear friends and devotees to please forward this story and share all these stories and topics so that everyone can be benefited by hearing about Krishna and his devotees. Right? Thank you once again. Okay, let's start with the story. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling to South India, he arrived at the world's biggest temple of the world. What is that? Ranganath temple. Okay, he went to see the deity and he saw one brahmana in the temple there reading the Bhagavad Gita. Right? And people were joking with him. Oh, Mr. Brahmana, how are you reading this Bhagavad Gita? Right? Because they were neighbors, they knew that this brahmana was very illiterate and he was like, he did not know neither Sanskrit or any other letter, one letter also, right? So, but the brahmana did not care about them. He was taking the book and in his own way he was going on reading. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw this incident and he came to the brahmana. He asked the brahmana, my dear brahmana, what are you reading? The brahmana could understand. This person is not joking with me. He is really serious. Right? He is so kind. That's why he explained, my dear sir, I am reading Bhagavad Gita. Unfortunately, I am illiterate. So I do not know even one alphabet or letter. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why are you reading Bhagavad Gita? So he said, my Guru Maharaj, my spiritual master, he has asked me to read. Right? He knows that I am illiterate, but still he has asked me to read it, Bhagavad Gita. What can I do? So therefore I have taken this book. I am simply seeing the pictures, but I do not know how to read it. Oh, okay, that's all right. You cannot read, but I see that you are crying. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, how are you crying if you are not reading? Yes, I am crying. Of course, there is a cause. What is the cause? He asks. As soon as I take this Bhagavad Gita, I remember Lord Shri Krishna. Right? Shri Krishna is sitting as a chariot driver. Right? And Arjuna is hearing. He has taken a very, very humble position of a servant. And I am going from the beginning to the end of the book and then I am simply crying looking at the picture of Arjuna and Krishna. Hari Bol. So I cry remembering how Supreme Lord loves his devotees. Right? So whenever I sit down to read this, the form of Krishna as Parthasarathi, chariot driver of Arjuna, appears in my heart. As soon as I see his form, I immediately remember how the Lord is Bhaktavatsala, right? Especially very lovable and kind to his devotees. This very thought makes me cry. What to do, sir? Right? He is so great. Still he has accepted the menial service of his devotee. This gives me so much pleasure that I cry. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced him. Right? Your Bhagavad Gita reading is perfect. He said, you have taken the essence. Right? So the Lord was overjoyed here. Right? To see how attentively the Brahmana was reading and how tears were streaming down his cheeks. Other Brahmanas sitting nearby also knew that he was illiterate. And so they wondered how he could possibly read the Gita. But as soon as I heard that, how he explained it, right? How it made him cry, the very thought of Krishna taking that position, right? So, I hope you enjoyed. See, my dear friends, what do we learn from this? What is the moral of the story? If you remember simply how Krishna is teaching Arjuna and Arjuna is hearing, if you simply remember the picture, that is more than sufficient. We don't have to become a learned man, to argue with another learned man. Simply if I remember this picture, there is perfection, Krishna says. We have to simply think of Krishna. You think in that, in any way, that is your perfection, right? Smarthavya satatam Vishnu. Padma Puran, this is the injunction they say. You have to think of Vishnu always. This is samadhi, right? This is meditation. This is yoga siddhi, perfection of yoga. One who has learned to think of Krishna always, he is already on the perfectional stage. Hari bol. Haradito yadi haris tapasa tata kim. Like according to Narada Pancharatra, this is quoted. If one has to come to this stage just to understand Krishna to be the great, the supreme personality of Godhead, and he is a surrendered soul. Krishna, whatever you like you do, I am surrendered. This is Aradhana. Then he isn't required to undergo any big austerities or penance in his life. Everything is finished. And Naradito yadi haris tapasa tata kim. And if he does not come to this stage, his so-called scholarship, learned argument, this or that, all nonsense, finished. Useless. One has to come to this stage. Therefore, Lord Sri Chaitanya embraced the brahmana. Yes, your study of Bhagavad Gita is perfect because no one has come to this stage thinking of Krishna always, he said. So this is perfection. Krishna and gopis, they were cowherd girls. Their father, mother, they were only ordinary village people keeping cows. That's all. What was their education? They were not Vedantists, but they learned how to love Krishna, right? That was their qualification. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu certifies, Ramya Kachid Upasana Vrajavadu Vargena Ya Kalpita. I repeat, Ramya Kachid Upasana Vrajavadu Vargena Ya Kalpita. Oh, there is no better worship than that which was contemplated by the gopis, he says. They did not know what is Krishna, but they loved Krishna. That's all. They loved Krishna. Because Krishna was God or Krishna was something great? No. Their natural affection was for Krishna. They could not even stay for a moment without seeing Krishna. That was their qualification. That is Krishna consciousness, isn't it? Hare Bol, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's it for today, my dear friends. Hope you enjoyed it. This is a story as much as I did. Thank you. Catch you all with another beautiful Krishna Katha and motivational videos. Until then, thank you. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu bhayeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.